Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a slow, relaxing, resourceful breath. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, give permission to your unconscious mind to start making its way to a place of empowering change. So when you breathe in, you're breathing in that resourceful, strong feeling of confidence and relaxation. And as you exhale, I want you to locate long-lost feelings of shame or guilt and decide that it's time to leave your body in your outward breath. Just allow that shame to feel like it's rising up from whichever place it was buried. That guilt. How is it fair that you had and there were others that had not? So breathe in and breathe out and feel that you are drawing those long lost emotions from deep, deep down, bringing them up. Almost feel that there's a powerful magnet and you are drawing those buried emotions, perhaps buried when you were just a child. Feel them coming up to the surface. And start to imagine that by holding on to these emotions, you are depriving yourself of having the maximum impact on the world possible. For a while you thought that the just thing to do, the fair thing to do, that if there are have-nots in the world, then it's only right that you also have not. But I want you to think, how can you feed someone that's starving if you're starving yourself? How can you give from your pocket if your pocket is empty? I want you to come to the conclusion in your own time that it's been a selfish thing to do to deprive yourself of the abundance to help yourself and to help others. That the most selfless thing to do is to give permission to impact the world while you attract abundance into your life. When you're unconscious, is ready to release those buried feelings of guilt and shame. Let me know by nodding your head. And just feel that guilt, that shame is leaving your body every time you breathe out. And what you're breathing in is now a newfound enthusiasm, a newfound energy. And let's call that energy abundance. I want you to think of a long-lost orchard. I want you to imagine that the farmer of the orchard was filled with empathy, because the farmer of the orchard knew that there were people in the world starving. He deliberately neglected the trees to ensure that all of those trees produced sparse fruit So although there were hungry people in the world, the farmer was also hungry. And somehow the farmer slept a little bit better. But that didn't help all the people out there that were going hungry. And one day, the farmer went through a transformation. He loved to farm. He loved to help the trees and tend the trees, and decided he would do what he could to make each tree the most bountiful tree it could be. And very soon, these trees that were producing just one or two bits of fruit started producing an abundance of fruit. More fruit than the farmer had ever seen. And there wasn't just one tree. There were so many trees and so many different fruits that the farmer had more than enough for himself and his family and his friends. But all of that fruit would go to waste. He sold some, giving him a better home, but decided that with some of that fruit, he would take it to the poorest, most hungry people. And suddenly the farmer slept better than ever before. Because now everyone was winning. The farmer had lost his guilt and shame. The farmer had abundance of financial abundance, but also nutritional abundance, and felt that the guilt and shame was now replaced with a sense of gratitude and pride, a feeling of generosity that he couldn't be before. Because how can you be generous from a place of scarcity and lack? You can only be generous from a place of abundance. And if you're willing to open a door towards abundance that comes from doing what you love anyway, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to feel that money is just an option. Stored energy, stored value that you can deploy in whatever way you decide to. And maybe you've seen wealthy or rich people spending money in ways that you disagreed with. I want you to get a sense that it's just their way. And the fact that your way would be different already proves that you can be capable and discerning with money. If you were to have money and waste it, you would be doing a disservice to yourself and the other people in the world you could help. I want you to feel that whatever area in your life you feel most responsible and most discerning in is now mapping across to this world that we can call money and wealth. That if you make discerning, wise choices in that area, just acknowledge that you can also make wise, useful choices as your abundance starts to increase. I want you to imagine going forward in the future and just imagine that your income has trebled. I want you to feel that as your income trebles and perhaps your expenses only increase slightly, that the surplus is just there for you to choose what to do with. Some people increase their lifestyle proportionate to their income. But if their income changes, they're left high and dry. Other people, as their income increases, choose to increase their lifestyle to some extent, but then have a percentage of their increased income that goes towards future security. And perhaps once the security bucket is filled, they then think of comfort. But the third bucket, when your security is insured, when your quality of life is exactly as you want it to be, when those first two buckets overflow, the next bucket is freedom. Some people use that freedom to live a luxurious life. Some people use that freedom to be philanthropic, to create a sense of fairness and justice in the world. I want you to get a sense that as your income grows, so does your ability to shift the world the way you want it to be. And if that feels like a desirable, empowering future, let me know by nodding your head. Allow any of the blocks of the past to just feel like they're melting away. Sometimes childhood experiences lead to a false conclusion where 1 + 1 = 3. Martyrdom and self-sacrifice impedes your ability to help others. It doesn't empower it. So feel like you're going back to that childhood version of you. And feel like you're putting them on a different path. This idea that you can't pour from an empty cup leads that younger version of you to feel a desire to have an overflowing cup, to have the option without the obligation to help others. So breathe in and breathe out and feel these changes taking place. And just imagine, a year from now, your income has increased even more. But more importantly, so has your option on choices. Imagine logging into your bank account and seeing a balance that would enable you perhaps to change how you live, where you live, or something crucial about your lifestyle. To feel that you have the freedom to choose. Feel that you can be responsible in that moment. Feel empowered. And feel that it's a choice, not an obligation. And if that future feels that you can feel responsible, proud, worthy, and empowered, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to feel that money equals freedom, and freedom equals choices. The more money you have, the more freedom you have, the more good choices you can make. And you get to decide what good choices are. Good choices for you, and good choices for the world. All of those blocks that have been preventing you to make good choices that improve the quality of your life and improve the quality of the world are now dissolving and evaporating into dust as you empowered yourself to unlock the resources to now attract abundance. All of that self-sabotage that came from the suppressed guilt and shame will start to disappear. I want you to go back to that thought of the farmer with the orchard. With that extra money he made from the bountiful harvest, his orchard became bigger and bigger. As his life improved, so did the lives of people around him. The more he had, the more empowered he could be. And just imagine that poor farmer began and became the most influential person of his region. I want you to get a sense that as his wealth grew, his ability to impact the world also grew. I want you to get a sense that if you could choose to be the poor farmer, where your suffering mirrors the suffering of others, or you could choose to be the empowered farmer that does well for yourself and well for other people. It all comes down to a choice. So breathe in and breathe out and allow your unconscious to make that choice. And any changes necessary to allow that choice to become part of future choices and new decisions will take place in its own time. But now it's time to return to the present, taking all of these changes with you. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting fully into the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.